Nation, we just living like kings. With kings and queens, we be doing our things. CBB Nation, we just living like kings. With kings and queens, we be doing our things. Denise and Craig Mack, they be holding it down. Daniel goes out the crown in this here town. Asta from Fiji, she's bringing the heat. Anthropic lanes moves, can't accept defeat. Big Nasty got that vibe, we all feeling the bass. Kim Possible, she running this whole damn place. Wendy with the vision, Robert, making things fly. Right centuries hustle, Jose touching the sky. CBB Nation, we just live in a dream. With kings and queens, we rise, it's a seamless team. Denise keeps the real, always ready to shine. Craig Mack brings the heat, never falling behind. Daniel Gold's got the game, running the show. Asta from Fiji, always making it glow. Anthropic planes, the mastermind, I did so fly. Make nasty with the hits, we can reach for the sky. Kim Possible's the boss, holding down the fort. Wendy got the vision, never falling short.
Hey, what y'all know about that Sunday fun day, son? Scott Storch. What's going? I'm getting old. Y'all don't even know who that guy is anymore. What is going on, CBB Nation? Can you hear me okay? What is going on? Yeah, we got the prompt chain back on. How's it going? Kim says I'm too much. I'm just prompt chain of thought. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what's up? McNasty made the rap, obviously. The whole last episode was about you, dog. Man, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody for round number 2. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to just go ahead and have some fun. Let me take my Scott Storch glasses off. I'm going to do the appointment tool some justice today is the plan. Hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. Yes, we are very sneaky. I put you in there too. Scrolling is dead. You heard your name in there. I spent hours on that rap, guys. It took most of my day, actually, thanks to Udio. I promise you, Dexter. Yes, sir. Yes, King. I promise I'm staying on topic tonight. This will be a good topic. I think you're going to like it. I hope so anyways. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen ready. Like Freddie would. Ready like Freddie. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to learn something here. There's the winner right there. You like the rap, eh? I'm glad you like the rap. This guy just keeps on winning. Every time I turn around, dude, you're on our Facebook post. You're like, another win. So congratulations to you. You're just crushing it. Good stuff. Okay, cool. So let's start sharing our screen here. Maybe you know how to do appointments. Maybe you don't. You're going to learn today. Yes, sir. Yeah, you already know Charles Mack. You know, the rap overlords of AI loved Denise and Charles Mack in that thing. All right. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's hit sign up here. That's all we want to do is keep on winning. That's all we like to do. So let's just call this appointment bot. Of course, it's going to say but. You can laugh. I laughed a little too much when we did the little Google real-time stuff. You never, I'm going to change that. Okay, I've never been mentioned. Well, guess what? Now you have. We'll always love our people. All right, cool. So we are going to make an appointment bot. Now, I briefly went over after like an hour and 40 minutes last time, how to use multiple calendars, and I totally just didn't do a good job. And I'll admit when I don't do a good job. So today I'm going to try to do a really good job. We're going to work with some agents today. I did want to point out one thing really quickly, because before we get into this, this is a really good, where did it go? I have a screenshot. I'm going to pull it up. Okay, I'm going to put my Discord people on blast here. I'm thinking we'll do it afterwards, maybe, just so I just stay on topic this time. I do want to just point out, let's see if I can throw it on the screen here, if I can be fancy like that. Add an overlay, sweet. I am going to do this today too, just because I've already made it. Like I saw Mr. Gold, he popped this question in Discord. This is going to be something I think will maybe, if Asta can get his video editor hat on this week, we might make some shorts with this one. But it's a really great common request. This will be something that I want you guys to understand something, not to get too off topic here. The big deal with OpenAI coming out with these more expensive plans, to me, this is cool because they're setting the price, they're setting a standard that they're trying to. So they're basically coming out saying the $20,000 a month thing they might do, that's the most gangster, the most possible gangster bots that are out there, right? Whatever that could be. Then you've got something, if they run this way, the $2,000 plan or whatever, that's setting the standard. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you've ever wondered what to price yourself at, OpenAI is legitimately about to come out with the pricing guide, and all you got to do is beat their pricing, and it's not going to be difficult to do. Okay. So just putting that out there. So we are going to go through this one at the end if we get some time. And essentially what this is doing is it's collecting a whole bunch of information. And in my case, when it's a certain threshold or a certain level of difficulty to collect information, like this is kind of a lot, instead of just a plain function to capture everything all at one time, we'll use the JSON tool. So I just want to throw that out there. We'll try to knock out this appointment stuff first. Okay, and we're going to use, maybe we'll use an agent, maybe we won't. For the other thing I just showed you, we'll definitely use an agent. I'll do the calendar thing first. So what I want to do is I want to first go to my marketing tools, and I want to make a calendar. So I'll come here and go to appointment scheduling. Then I'm going to come here to integrations. This is the new thing that I went over super briefly previously. And so we'll go into a little bit more in depth here. Google Calendar is what I'll choose. So Google Calendar, and we'll choose this one because I know there's like no appointments on here. Maybe one, maybe out of a test. You're going to choose your calendar, click continue. And I can see, okay, great, my calendar is set there. Fantastic. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a calendar. So I've connected my actual calendar. You don't have to do this, but I'd recommend it. And now you can have mini calendars, as many as you want to have. Now, keep in mind, if you have 100 calendars you need to have, your prompt and your functions better be on point, son. And that'll be very difficult to do. I'll be quite honest with you. Can you do it? Yeah, sure. Should you do it? Probably not, man. Could you do 10? Sure. You could do 20, but like, you just got to be very strategic about that. That's for another episode, maybe. You just click on add another calendar. So I could add another one right here. I'll add my second one. Continue. Allow. And so now I've got both calendars here. I'm only going to work with this one because I know that that's not going to be connected to anything that would be conflicting. So I've connected the external calendar. Now it's time to make the actual calendar. So I'll click on the calendars tab and I'll click on add. We'll call this CB calendar. Continue. All right. So over here, I'll just say, and you can use custom fields here. Now, thank you for the awesome feedback and requests, CBB Nation. This is why we're the best. We listen to you guys, and you guys have the best ideas. So you can, but I'm not going to do that right now. But what I'll do is I'll say, make an appointment right now before you regret it. You know what I'm saying? Just make it mysterious. When can people book? I'm not going to change anything here. How can it happen? You can choose phone calls. What I'll leave it as, I'll leave the default notification system, which you can choose to use or not. Restrictions, I'll also leave blank. Now, this is a section here that you do need to pay attention to. So, for example, by default, we have a minimum day in advance field. And so a lot of people can get tripped up because they'll say, okay, I've got a calendar connected. I've got availability today. Why can't I book? Why is it not available? This sucks, right? And then you go into the group and they'll be like, this sucks. Well, it's because we've got the restrictions in place. So if you don't want that, you can be like, boop, go to 0. No problemo, man. No problemo. If you want to go to 0, you could book in the day. That is a big one. And then also a daily limit. This is also trips people up. But so in this case, I'm not going to change anything, but just pay attention to your configurations here, because this is the number one reason why your calendar might not function exactly like you would expect, like you want it to. It will do exactly what you tell it to do. That's what you can take to the bank. All right. So again, we can go down here and make sure we're actually connected to the calendar, which is a new thing you need to look at now. And so I've got my calendars here, and I'm choosing well, actually, we'll choose this guy. I see that's doubled up, but if I hit save here and I go back, it'll not be there. I've got my calendar set up now. I've got my integration set up now. I do need to look at that little double action. We have refresh. I see it. Yeah, we'll fix that tomorrow. So you've got your calendars here, and you've got your integration. What you want to do next is make a flow. Okay. To create the booking, you don't necessarily need to do this. It will work, but to make sure it's absolutely consistent, you're going to want to control when the bot provides availability information versus when it actually books the stuff, books the appointment, books the stuff. All right. So I'll show you what I mean. These are your default flows. These are the flows that come with the appointment. And it's the appointment itself, the calendar. I'm going to now create a new flow. And this is in our documentation. If you'd rather follow along with text, you can do that too. I'll try to do it basically off memory, pretty much exactly what the documentation says. I'm going to do first availability. Continue. And what I want to do is, in my case, I want to go ahead and use an action. And let's click on this appointment scheduling tool and understand what's going on here. We're going to click on the element, and we see that we have some options. Book an appointment, cancel an appointment, check availability, which is the one that we're going to use. We're going to check availability, and we're going to select the calendar that we want to use. So this is CB calendar, the one that we made, and we need to create 2 new cuffs for a start date and an end date. All right, so I'm going to just keep it simple. Click add new, and I'll click on starting. And then I'll do one for ending. And what this is going to check the window of availability. So I've got my starting and I've got my ending. Result used by AI. So this is to make things even faster and easier. We format things for you with AI if you'd like, but as you're going to see, I'm going to format it myself. You can turn this off if you want to. It's no problem. But you're going to want to save this into a custom field. So I'm going to just save this as a new custom field, and we'll call this availability. All right, so let's recap. We're making a flow. We're using an action, the appointment scheduling tool. We are using check availability at the top. We've got our calendar selected. We have starting as a custom user field for the start date, ending for a custom user field for the end date. I've got result used by AI turned off. You could have it turned on. I'm going to use AI, but I'm going to use it my way. I got the prompt chain on, so I'm going to do things my way, right? You can too, or you can just use what we provide by default. And I'm going to save the response, and the response is going to be the 3 next consecutive available spots or slots. And we're saving that information in availability. So you could spit this cuff right out to spit it out. I'm so country. You could print the information. You could print the cuff availability just like this if you wanted to. That could be what you present if you wanted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to use my own prompt to make the dates sound better. So what I'll do is I'll click add content here. I'll click actions and open AI. I'm going to move this guy up. I'm going to give it a little prompt, and I'll say you're a helpful assistant, and I'll say who is responding with the availability in a smooth way in response to the user's request for checking availability based on the dates you were provided. Dates and times. Now, that might be one of the worst things I've written probably on here. So let's use ChatGPT and clean this up. Hit copy here. I'll be like, make this sound better. It's my favorite prompt. We're using the 4.5, the crybaby one. Here's a refined version. Okay. All right, cool, whatever. I thought it was going to give me a crybaby version. It gave me a shorter one. That's fine. Is that all it gave me for real? Yeah, whatever. Good enough. And so here's what I'll do is I'll have the availability. So what I've done here, and again, I show you guys some advanced things sometimes. You don't need to do so much, but I want you to understand this one concept. You don't necessarily hardly ever need to mess with this field. But what it usually is going to be last input here, right? This is what we have by default. The user message is typically going to be the last input. On certain special occasions, this being one of them, you could take control of that text that would be coming from the user. As the admin, you can just kind of control anything you want, which is awesome. So in this case, I'm going to take away the last input. Maybe I could include it. I could do it this way too to show you availability. So I'll say here is the availability. Okay, and then here is the last message from the user. You could do something like that if you wanted to. And again, we're going to have to save this into a custom field. Let's make a new one here, and I'm going to call this just something simple, AI reply. So what's happening here? This is the custom instructions that we're giving our AI agent here. And this is what the user message would be to this assistant. And we're generating the response, and it's going to be saved as AI reply. Continue. Okay, cool. And instead of availability, it's going to be AI reply. Let's hit publish here real quick. And I should be able to see that custom field. AI reply right there. All right, cool. So I do need to check here. So starting, when are we going to define what is starting and what is ending? So with starting, I'm going to do that with a function. And then with an ending, I'm going to define that in one step here. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go to add content, click actions. I'm going to go to set custom field. I'm going to move this guy up to the top. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little funky. So pay attention to what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the ending to a special kind of cuff or operation here. We're going to use math operations, and it's going to be based off of the starting, the start time, if this makes sense. So what this is going to look like is this. We've got our starting here, and then we're actually going to do, in this case, I'm going to use 7 days. So this is in seconds. Okay, so you can add from a date and time using seconds, any number that's going to be your window. All right, so we're going to start at a certain point, which I'll show you what that's going to look like with a function. We're going to collect that as a date, and we're going to add 7 days. Okay, so hit save. So what's happening here, this is going to be our flow that is going to be triggered when someone needs the availability. So they're going to check the availability, and we're going to have a 7-day window, right? So the first thing that's going to happen is you'll see how we collect the starting date. That's going to be what triggers this flow. So the first step of this actual flow is we're going to set the ending date of the range. That's what it really is. It's the start and end range of when you're going to allow the system to check for availability. So in this case, they're going to say tomorrow. Well, the starting date would be tomorrow, and it would be plus 7 days. That would be your ending, your ending custom field to like check the range. 7 days from the starting step or the starting date. Click save. And so what's happening here again? We're setting the ending date. We've got that done. That's then going to the appointment scheduling tool. So we're checking the availability of the specific calendar. We're going to get the start date next, and the end date is what we've defined in the very first step of this flow. We're not going to use AI. We're just going to use the extracted dates and save it under availability. We're then taking availability and we're using it here in the user message so that we can get a generated response that sounds natural and provides the information that we need to give to the user based on these instructions. It's being saved in AI reply. And so we'll see that here. So let's click on publish, and availability is the name of the flow. So what we'll do now is we'll go to our settings. Let's go to integrations, OpenAI, edit. And then I'm going to say something like, you are a helpful assistant who takes appointments and provides appointment availability based on requests. Super simple prompt. This could be an agent. This is an agent form when you're using this, by the way. Currently, we don't have any functions enabled. I'll click continue. Let's go ahead and make the function that we need to trigger that flow. Scroll down to functions, click add, and we're going to call this check availability. Allows the user to request availability for appointments. All right, so whenever they need to check the availability, what we'll then do is let's see if we can just trigger the availability flow. I mean, we really could do that. But what we'll end up doing is we'll get the start date. So we'll say starting date. And then here we'll click on start. Allows the user. Okay, and we don't need to do anything with the calendar. We're just collecting the starting date right here. We're going to collect the start date, and then we're going to trigger the availability flow. Okay, so click continue. So now we've got our first function, check availability. Let's go back into our prompt here. So now we've got some information to play with. We'll say when the user asks for availability, you must request when they prefer to have the appointment first so that you have a starting date. All right, so you got a starting date, and we'll do the check availability. And so we'll say, once you've got the starting date, activate the check availability function. I think that should be okay. All right, so we'll click continue. And so what should happen is we'll test this right now. I'm going to start the conversation. I'm going to beat around the bush a little bit. And then the goal is I'm going to be like, all right, I want to know what's available. And so what'll happen is the function will trigger this flow, and it's going to understand whenever I say, what date I want, it'll say, okay, here's going to be the time range. So if I'll say like tomorrow, it should say, okay, the starting date is tomorrow, and then it'll be plus 7 days for our calendar. In our case, it'll give the 3 consecutive date and times in a row, probably all on the same day, Okay, so let's try this out. Let's go to the welcome message here. I'm just going to hit preview. Continue. All right, and so I'll make the screen bigger. Yo, what up, homie? Who is this I'm speaking with, and what do you do? Who is this I'm speaking with, and what do you do? I'm your virtual assistant, here to help you with appointments. and check availability. Okay. So I'm going to say, yeah, tell me what is your availability for Tuesday. Let's see if we get our answer here. Could you please provide the specific date you're referring to? Let's see if we can say, I'll just say Tuesday, 3/11/25. The availability is as follows. So this is 11:30, 11:30, and 12. And that is basing it off of my current time I see. And it's going in the morning, obviously. So it's literally doing exactly what we want. And you can control this, how this works within your prompt, because we're getting the entire calendar. So it's based this answer. Watch, I'll show you what I mean. I'll go to availability, and this is what I do this for the reason. Number one, yes, I do love Snoop. He's the homie. But watch this. Here's the availability. Here's the last message. And then I'll say, ensure that your output is smooth and fun with an extreme likeness of Snoop Dogg. And that'll make it more fun, I think. I'll say, ensure the formatting of the text is of that of a casual conversation and nothing special. So like you can control things pretty well. And if like it really comes down to it, we could add some things to the user message and it would be really, really controlled. And to show examples is even better. But this is how we're getting the answer. So we're getting we're checking the availability. So let's then say, so you could also say, in my case, you could go for the earliest time. It's all controlled here and here. Let's now make the flow, or we don't necessarily need a flow. We'll now say, we'll make the function to actually book the thing. So we'll go back to back. So let's click add and we'll say book. This is the one that we have as the placeholder text. Actually, you can follow that almost to the T. Book appointment allows the user to book an appointment. And then the date that we'll collect, or the data we'll collect, in this case, we'll need to make one additional custom field because I need one for date. This one's kind of like a special one. So let's click continue, go back to flows and custom fields. And we'll add one that is just called date. Okay, and then it'll be a date and time. Continue. Now we're Gucci. Go back to functions. And we're going to click edit on book appointment. And now we can say date and date. Okay, allows user to book the appointment. And now we've got date here, and we will choose the calendar, CB calendar. Okay, we don't need a flow here. We could say, awesome, we've got you all taken care of, homie. All right, and so this is going to generate a similar answer to this in whatever language, which is the benefit here. Okay, so if they're all speaking in Spanish, you have this in English even, it'll understand to keep the conversation going in Spanish, which is cool. All right, so this is very simple. Book appointment allows the user to book an appointment. What do we need to collect? The date. Then it's going to be saved on this calendar. And we're going to say, awesome, we've got you all taken care of, homie. Continue. Let's go back to integrations. OpenAI, edit. And we'll add the new function. We'll also add some instructions here. All right, so we'll say, after a user has confirmed the date they want to make the appointment with you, your job is to then activate the book appointment function and let them know they're all set once they've been booked correctly. Just like make sure this doesn't trip them up. Cool. All right, so after a user's confirmed the date they want to make the appointment with you, comma, homie, your job is to activate the book appointment function. I'll use the underscore just for accuracy's sake, and then let them know that they're all set. Let them know. Got a messed up keyboard or something. They're all set once they've been booked correctly. All right, so I think that's going to be fine. Click continue. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and test this guy one more again. We could just continue on the same conversation. So here's the starting date and ending date, right? And so you can see it's going 7 days if you can. Can I zoom in here? Yeah, so starting, right? So it was starting on the day I requested, which was Tuesday. And then it went all the way to 7 days out. You can make that adjustment however you'd like. And that was the first flow. Okay, so we'll just continue this conversation. I think we'll do that. We'll say 11:30 a.m. I'll say, okay, 11:30 a.m. sounds great. Let's see if we it'll just like knock it out, even though it's been changed. All set. Your appointment is booked for Tuesday at 11:30. So we can verify this by going here to the inbox, and we should scroll down, and we'll see. Boom! Here is our appointment, 11:30. Now I didn't get the person's name, so now I don't have their name, right? So maybe we should do this. We'll say in our function here, let's go to the book appointment and click edit and click add, and we'll say user's name, user's email. All right, so let's go full name. Let's do email. Okay. And cool, let's click continue. And let's go to our prompt and do a better job here. We have millions of people watching. I just embarrassed CBB Nation by forgetting that part. I'm going to say after users confirmed the date they want to make the appointment with you, your job is to activate the book appointment function. I'm going to say, I'll say after users confirmed the date, I'm going to say it is very important that you collect the user's full name, and then you collect the confirmed date that. Right. So what I'm going to do here, just because I want to be a good example, I'm going to go over where are they at. I'm going to say make these instructions sound better, and then underneath that, provide some user and assistant examples. And I'm going to trust that that's going to work. It's essential that you first collect the user's full name and the exact date that they would like to schedule the appointment. Once you've got those details, your task is to trigger the book appointment function. After successfully clearly inform the user their booking is all Gucci. It's exactly what they said. So I'm going to just copy all that because that's legit perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and we'll try it out. So, boom. Oh, I hate the little asterisks, man. So I'm just going to take that away. Well, whatever. I don't think it's going to pull up I don't think it's going to be that way with us. All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and click continue. Let's try it out. So I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, homie? You still there? I have a couple questions if you've got a minute. I want to make an appointment for this Friday. What's available? Full name, Snoop Dogg. And I don't know the date, but it's this coming Friday. Get it right, player. March 14th, son. Bam. See, and it's going again. It's going off that, and I can prompt it any way I want. So I'll say, I'll just say when this is fine. Great choice. Could you provide me your email address? See? So Snoop at AOL.com. Now it should, boom, it should, like, that pause was a function. Your appointment is confirmed for 11:10. Awesome. We've got you taken care of, homie. If you need anything else, drop it like it's hot. So let's see if we can drop it like it's hot, and let's see if we solve the mystery of the missing contact info. We'll click inbox, and we see who is that? Who is that, dude? It's my homie, Snoopy Snoop, right here in the flesh. Did we make the appointment? Yes, we did. Wow. How you like that, CBB Nation? I'd have too much fun. Scott Storch. Did I have my mic turned off? Just kidding. Oh, man, that was fun. What's up, Wendy? Did you see that you made the rap? You didn't even see. We made a whole rap, Wendy. We made a whole rap. If Ryan was on, yeah. Now she's knowing now. How did y'all follow me on that? Did you follow me on it? Did I go too slow, too fast, too country? What's up, President Bush? The price will continue to fall everywhere. Everything will get faster, cheaper, better. Hopefully y'all are still with me. Glad to see you're here, Wendy. Could you do, what is Ryan saying here? Could you do a set cuff date to current date? Yes, you could. Always country. Yes, sir. Did it make sense? Did you guys follow that okay? Is there something else I need to show on that? So, like, what we're doing here? Good. I'm so glad. I'm gonna get with I'll show the next thing, but I just want to make sure this is clear. Like, this is really truly the best way for appointments to, like, could you get away with not having this flow? Yes, you could. We've done it before. Matter of fact, it's so good, it tricked us. Okay, like, sometimes it just has worked out that way. But without this step involved, your bot is not going to truthfully understand the status of your calendar. And so the availability is an important piece of that. If you do the availability function in this case, it'll never get it wrong. It's going to grab those 3 dates, and you could say, in your prompt here, you could say in the tone of Snoop Dogg, and you could say, only provide appointments at the top of the hour and only on even times, and starting at the very beginning of the day, or maybe not of the day, of starting at the very beginning. You could do something like that if you wanted to. It's going to just basically go off of what has the user set as that starting point and your ending point. In our case, the ending point was almost not meaningful because we had so much availability in our booking. But say, for example, you had only 1 hour a day that you were going to allow appointments, then that would make a lot more sense, because you're checking an appointment availability range of a longer of longer range versus something like a 24-hour period. These are two different things, because when you're looking at those 3 consecutive times, this prompt is going to be your best friend, because we're pulling everything that we can. It's not as difficult as a lot of people might think, but it can be made to be maddening when you know that your calendar is set right, and the bot, it gives you like a randomly wrong date. This is the solution to that. Everyone can pretty much handle, I think, the function to make the booking happen. So as long as, like, basically it works like this. Here's a great way to explain it. In a best case scenario, if the person that needs the appointment magically perfectly asks for an available slot every time, this will work for you every single time without fail. It'll just work. However, if the customer doesn't ask on a perfect date and time, that's when things could get wonky and like it could go off the rails. In what I've seen in my experience. So they'll start just spitting wrong information out because it's just like, what? So if you have the availability flow as the control, it'll always get it right. You'll always have the correct dates provided, and it'll always book correctly regardless, but it's just a much better user experience when you do it that way. But as the trick. And so here it's saying homey here because this is what I've added in the output message. Check availability is the one that you really want to understand. Allows the user to request availability for appointments. Here's the starting date. That's how the start date is set. And then the availability flow is triggered. Let's get back to that flow one more time, and then we'll get off this thing. I'll show you Mr. Gold's request because it was a fun one. In this case, again, because we've got now the starting date and the request for the appointment availability, starting date has now been saved. Awesome. Trigger this flow. The availability flow is triggered. And so now the first step of that flow is we want to set an ending to the range that we're going to check for. And so we're going to set the ending. In my case, I'm going to use a math operation, and I'm going to use the starting date. And in this case, this is 7 days and seconds. Okay, what is this? Like an hour, I think is like 3,600 seconds. I could be wrong on that. How many seconds are in an hour? I think it's 3,600, something like that. 3,200. I can't do it in my head. And so this is going to be where the end date is. So you've got a start date that's already set before this flow is happening. So all this flow needs to do is set an end date. End date set. Now we can use the appointment scheduling check availability tool. And then we can use our calendar here. Here's the starting date that was predefined previously before this step was this flow was activated. Before this step, we just defined the end date. You could turn this on or off. Depends on how good you want your output to be or how customized you needed it to be. We turned it off, and we saved those 3 dates in availability. Then we used those 3 dates that are separated by commas, and we're like, yo, OpenAI, here's the availability, and here's what the user said. You really don't even need this because I've got the conversation turned on. When you've got generate text, by default, the conversation's turned on. So you don't necessarily need that. It's going to generally be good enough to understand without this. So here's the availability. That really could be all you need. Truthfully, you could probably just get away with just that. And it would be the same. Here's the information. Well, here's what we're going to tell the bot to do. And here's what to do it with. Here's the availability. Right. And then again, if you want to see what the availability looks like, if you go here, you can see that. So yeah, separated by commas. This is how it is pulling. So what happens is when it's time to check your calendar, we're going off of the start date and the end date. We're going to find the 3 consecutive available slots, and that's what we're going to pull back. Without AI added, it's just going to provide this. If you enable it AI, it's going to have a little bit more text. It'll be formatted a little bit better. It's like, here's your availability, or here's your available slots is what it's going to typically say. And it'll be formatted a little bit nicer. What I do is I'll take matters in my own hands and I'll format it in the way I want to based on a prompt. I hope this helps a lot. It is correct. Yes. I don't know who that is. That might be Asta. Nice. Web chat. Once they see booking confirmation page, I had to send an email confirmation with the chat button. Once they see booking confirmation page, I had to send an email. Maybe that was a question to somebody else. Oh, okay. You're talking to Wendy. Cool. Let's look at this thing Mr. Gold requested, because I think that's going to be a thing people will want to understand. Okay, so and I already made, the only thing I didn't do is I didn't add the custom fields, but let me show you something fun here. So let's throw his thing back on here. Boom. What is he saying? Let's take off this comment here. All right, so look, what he is saying is this is for like a leasing company, like apartments or something like that. And so they have a set of questions, and this is a long list of questions. A lot of people are going to have this issue. All right. And so he has all these things that are required to be taken. So your language, your desired lease date, do you need parking, specify the neighborhood in the ad as we have many listings, the type of unit, like basically, if it's contact information, you could probably get away with just dumping everything into a function and separating everything out that way. But, it's just functions are, I think, made for smaller data consumption is the way I'll put it. So the solution, when you've got a bunch of different, or maybe it's more difficult to obtain information, like some of these things are a bit difficult. And I'll show you a cool example here of like, even me, I kind of failed. I said, where did I go here? Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, so here's the questions. I said, what up? You ready to get started? Yes. English. When is your lease date, your desired lease date? And I gave the date. Do you need parking? Yes, bro. This threw it off a little bit. I'll show you that. Please specify the neighborhood. I said Mableton. And I said mansion. How many people? Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I didn't read the whole question. I was trying to go fast because, again, I saw this message right before we jumped on this thing. My Discord people, my VIPs, I'm trying to solve their problems first. So I wanted to make sure I could show this really fast. And so I didn't read this, is the point. How many adults, students, young children, and pets will be living there? And I didn't read, now I'm looking at it, and I didn't read it well twice. And that's why I did this. I didn't do any of this separated by commas, and I just said 4. So it asked me clearly how many adults, students, young adults. Oops. Wendy's calling me. Hello?
Hey, your screen share is covering the screen.
Oh, crap. Okay, let me take that away.
No, no worries.
Bye. Wendy's saving the day. Boom. All right, so sorry about that. What I'm showing you here is the whole, like, I went through the process as a user. And what I wanted to show is, where did it go? I got flustered. Thank you for saving me, Wendy. Mableton Mansion 4. Okay, yeah. How many adults, young children, pets are in the unit? Separate them by commas. And I was just like, I didn't even read 4. Is what it sent back to me. I was like, holy crap, this is perfect. It seems I need a bit more detail about the information. Could you please specify the number of adults, students, young children? And I was like, oh, got it. 2 kids, 2 adults. But I didn't read the part about pets. So it told me again, just to clarify, how many pets are in the unit? This is fantastic. This is what you need to have happen. Okay, you don't want things to be just 4. Okay, and so I just said none. Then it said, what's your first name? Again, I'm obviously Snoop. Snoop, dog. What's your phone number? Please select your desired date. So then this was important. Thank you, Snoop. I didn't even read that part either. It did, it went through all the things. But then here at the bottom, it said, I answered all the questions, but it said, could you please provide the desired lease start date and your parking requirements? Yes or no? I didn't answer it perfectly as the user, and I didn't give any real instructions to how to handle this in the prompt, so it correctly needed to confirm the right information as I did instruct it to do. So I said, yep. And it's saying I still needed the information because I just said, yep. That's not a good answer. So it did a great job of forcing me to confirm things. So once I have those, I can summarize everything. So I said, there's the date, and yes, I need parking. So then it confirmed everything. Does everything look good? And I said, yes. And so then what happened? This is the important piece. This is like what the inside of a function looks like, by the way. This is JSON. Okay, and I'll show you how this works. First, let's go over to, let's go to the flows first. I just made one flow, JSON agent flow. Very complex, very difficult. Not really, it's very easy. Here's what I did. Here's the AI block, AI node, and I'm using an agent. It's the JSON bot agent. And in this case, I am using the user message field to my, this is more of a, I guess, advanced. So I'm saying based on the confirmed info, generate the strict JSON with no additional words or characters. And I also included the chat history for good luck, call it that. It's going to include for sure the confirmed results. And then basically we're going to use that to parse out the information. So what I'm going to do here is this is generating JSON, and I'm saving it in AI JSON in the custom field. Okay, I've got conversations returned on. All that's great. Okay, so this is an agent. So let's show you how the inside works. The agent is going to get, again, just so I'm explaining everything perfectly here. The agent has a prompt we're going to look at. This is the user message. We're just reiterating essentially what the job is to do. And we're using chat history as the reference text. It'll find the information that was confirmed. And we're going to save this. We're going to use OpenAI to generate JSON. And it's going to be saved in this custom field called AI JSON that we will then use. In this case, I just printed the result to make sure it worked. But in this, like we would add another step to save these custom fields, which I'll show you how to do. Here's the agent prompt behind that. Manage agents, JSON bot. So this is where you get funky. Bot instructions. You know what I'll do? Just because, also, let's see if I can find it. Is it right here? No. Shoot, where is it? Rental, yes. Look, I'm gonna share this thing. Can we share it? Sweet, dude. I'm gonna put this right in the YouTube comments right here. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Yes. Check this out. So this is how I did it, because like I did it super fast. I literally write instructions for the bot that needs to collect info, list the info we need to collect, and then create a user and assistant formatted examples. This is my prompt to solve Daniel's problem, by the way. This was his user. So I just copied and pasted exactly what he sent. Here's the bot instructions. I don't think I liked those. I was like, stop using that emoji or I'll come get you. And so here's what I did. You got instructions first. You're a helpful assistant that collects rental details. Your task is to guide users through a series of questions, ensuring necessary information is gathered in a structured manner. If a user skips a question, politely prompt them to provide the missing details. Perfect. And I didn't even have to tell ChatGPT is getting better at prompting now. They've been watching us. At the end, to summarize the collected information and then confirm before submitting. I did tell it to do that because that was very important, and I'll show you. I'll show you why. So here's the instructions, and then I said, give me a list of the things you got to provide based on what Daniel put in Discord. And then I always tell y'all to use examples, so I've used them too. That's what makes your prompts not dumb. You have a dumb bot without it. So it's showing you what the conversation should look like, and it's saying thank you. Here's the summary, and then it's asking, does everything look good? And then it says yes, everything is correct. Great. So that is the whole agent right here. This on up is the whole agent. Let's go back right here to the main agent. This is my default reply. Literally, this is it. Same exact thing. Assistant, all good, all Gucci. Good, good, good. So it's going to summarize everything at the end, and it's going to say great. That's important because when we go to our, let's go to our settings here. Oops. I'll show you why this is very important. We're using that agent here, the main agent. The function we're using is info confirmed. All right, so maybe some of you guys are already a step ahead. Now look at this function. Info is confirmed. Look here. Allows the user to confirm the info. This is how simple I made it. It doesn't get any more simple than that. So what happens is the conversation could be wild and crazy kids out there asking many questions in between. But once the information is all done, our main agent's prompt says to recap that junk and say, is this correct, bro? Well, time to go to bed, right? Ryan's acting crazy. When the user says, okay, yes, that's correct, boom, shakalaka, they're gonna get hit with the function because they confirmed the info. I didn't even add any information right here. But what'll happen is the JSON agent flow will get triggered. So as soon as the user says, yep, that's correct, homie, boom, fun with functions happening. JSON agent flow is triggered. Let's go remind ourselves what that was. JSON agent flow. Yes, the matrix is here. It's our agent here, agent JSON bot, and it says, based on the confirmed info, generate the strict JSON. Don't use any words or don't use additional words or characters. And here's chat history to remind you, dumb AI. Here's where you'll find this chat history is where the confirmed info is going to be found. But because conversation history is on, you don't necessarily need that. This is just extra. I'm extra though, right? So continue. The JSON is going to be generated, and we're going to be able to verify that. This is the reason I've got this here. This verifies that. And so we need to verify that because we want to see how to create the custom fields in the way we need to. So we'll do that by going here. I'm going to grab the JSON here. I'm going to copy it. And then we'll go to JSON extractor. No, is it JSON parser? I forgot what it's called. JSON formatter. Formatter, is that what we use? I think we it's like 24/7. This is what it was right here. So I'll pop that in there, and then we should be able to see. Click format JSON. What did I miss? Let's go to ChatGPT. Format this correctly. I think I might just copy something wrong on my side. I missed it. Oh, format it. I did format it incorrectly on my side. This is correct though. Copy. Oops. Let's refresh that mug. Okay, is this messed up or something? What's wrong with it? Oh, this is not the thing I wanted it to do, is it? What is the thing? I forgot what it was called. Oh, Pathfinder. Duh. Pathfinder, stupid. I still want to use this one though, I think. Yeah, there it is. Stupid, Ryan. So it's the Pathfinder that you want. You're finding the JSON paths. So preferred language, lease start date. These are your custom fields, which this is the only thing I didn't do. So let's show you how to do that really quickly. So I can go here. When I click on this, you see it changes, right? This is how you would make your custom fields. This is what I would tell you to do at least. So I'm going to click on this, preferred languages. And I'm going to go over to my flows for my custom fields. And I'm going to work smarter, hopefully. All right. And so here we go. Let's make some custom fields. Preferred language. What's next? Lease start date. I'm just going to do a couple of these. Oops. Lease start date. Copy. Needs parking. I think that's the last one I'll do. Needs parking. Well, I'll do a couple more. I mean, it's not that bad. Needs parking, unit type. It's a mansion. Is what I chose. It's a mansion. Unit type, copy. right, so we've got, I think that's enough there. Let's look and see what we did. Lease, start date, needs parking, preferred language, unit type. So these 4. And so what we need to do is go here, back to the flow for the JSON agent. And we have the AI JSON. And so next we're going to use the JSON tool. So this will be an action. You can just do this here. Boop. And add content actions. We'll use the more tools option for generate JSON here. And we're going to run with AI JSON is what we've saved it under already. And so here's where this comes into play. And this is where you've got to do a little bit of playing yourself. So preferred language is this. I'm going to get copy. Oops, shoot. I'm going to click on, I'm going to do just a dot, preferred language. And I think that should be okay. Preferred language right there. And then let's do lease start date. You want to put a dot here. I believe that's all we're going to need. It's possible we need to include a $sign, but we won't really know until we run it, which is the one thing it's kind of like, but there's not another great way to do it right now. And right now we do have the best, most gangster way to do this sort of thing. That I promise you. I did the language twice because that's not copying. Needs parking, needs parking. And the last one is unit type. Okay. So again, a little dot, unit type, unit type. All right. So what's happening is the JSON that we generated, the reason we did that is to use this tool because out. So again, yeah, zoom in here. This, guys, is the JSON right here. So what's happening is we're taking the whole conversation that just went down that Daniel needed for like the leasing example. These are the questions that he needed the answers to. Computer language, okay, computer to computer APIs, and AI love JSON. So in this case, this is super, super duper easy for computers, put it that way, to understand the information versus a big chunk of text, like a paragraph, like we might understand better. Even a list, this is still going to be better than a list. So because this is formatted in the way that it is, these JSON pathways here can be saved in our custom fields here, right? That's the purpose. You're saving a whole ton of custom fields from this formatted JSON. You can do 150 of these things, man. There's no limit really, aside from the character limit of the AI you're using, which is gigantic at this point. So all this should save at once. So we'll click continue, and we'll say all set. So I'll zoom out a little bit. We don't need this guy anymore, I don't think. And I'll just be like, all done. Thanks. We will be in touch. Okay, so like the idea here is they just got all the things done. JSON agent flow. So I'll hit publish. And if I've done this correctly, which I believe I have, get the data from JSON. Oh, okay. So yeah, and then we're saving everything in the custom fields. What should happen here is we should be able to go to the inbox, and I should be able to send the flow, JSON agent flow, send it. Thanks, we'll be in touch. So it hit twice. That's good. We'll know if it worked if whenever I refresh my screen, here we see those new custom fields be added correctly with the values that we expect. Like a boss, boy. What happened though? Boom, 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 boom. You like that? preferred languages twice. Did I do it? I missed one. Okay. Oh man, needs parking. That's a yes. Preferred English. Yes. What did you need here? Unit type. Mansion. Did I miss one? I love it, dude. I might have doubled up on something. Y'all know that still feels good. Not gonna lie. Let's check and see if I missed or if I doubled up on one. Highly possible. Preferred language. Yeah, I did. So preferred language is gonna be preferred language. This one, lease start date. So when I copy this is supposed to go on my clipboard, but it doesn't. So I have to do it manually. So I'll go here. Boom. Lease start date. Lease start date. Yeah, we got it in there. Bam, Scott Storch. Make sure I got the periods in there. All right, publish. If you're from France. Back to the inbox. And let's see if we can't get a triple whammy. Give me the triple. Thanks, we'll be in touch. Yeah, you will. Better be. All right, cool. So did we get the start date? Maybe I didn't get it. Oh, yeah, it is. Here it is right here. Lease start date. Player. Yes, sir. Y'all thought I didn't see it, man. I see everything. You know, I won't tell you all the stories about my daughter, but I'll tell you this one. She sometimes mistakes words. She gets the opposite word. She's very smart, B2. But like, you know, I'll cover my face. I can't see anything. And I'll take it off. Now I see everything. She gets the opposite. So she'll try to hide from me. And she'll hide. She can't see anything. And she's like, I see everything. That's how I feel right now. I see it all. I'm not going to miss a chance to brag on my family. Sorry. CBB's my family too. I brag on y'all just as much. Preferred language, unit type, mansion. Better be a mansion. And needs parking. That's one. That's a yes. That's did I say yes or no? I said yes. You could have this be whatever you want it to be. I think that's a pretty good one. What do y'all think? Easy enough. And so like for the user, for the end deal, I guess the last thing that you need to know is you don't need to have that that block that shows the JSON, obviously. That's literally the reason I always print the JSON there is so that I can use this tool to get the here's what I grab. I copy and paste this into the Pathfinder. You could use ChatGPT too. I think you get the exact same information. Let's ask it. Let's just see if that would work. I'm gonna hit copy, and I'm gonna say, give me a list of all the JSON pathways. I bet you it'd be the same thing, man. Here's a list. Preferred language, lease start date, unit type. Yeah, the same exact thing. You know what? We just like proved we don't even need this thing anymore. Because you use ChatGPT. Is it neighborhood really neighborhood in ChatGPT? Yeah, it is, boy. Needs parking. Look, it's the same. All right, yeah. So that's done. I'll bet you that'll be better to use anyways. That's what I'm talking about. Adults, children. Does it have that? Okay, so that one might not be the same. Household details, children. So let's see if this one is correct. If these are correct, I'll feel comfortable telling you that you can use ChatGPT. Does it really say young adults? It does. It is, dude. Look, they're the same. I feel good. It works. So you don't even need. So see a JSON Pathfinder. Good thing you're free anyways, because you're done now. You're fired. You're peace. That's literally what we say to that thing. And now we can see like you can trust that this is the same thing, dude. Just the one thing you'll need to do is you'll add a period here, right? So we're generating the JSON here. This is what the purpose of this part is. Generate the JSON, and I say strict, generate the strict JSON. It's being saved here in AI JSON. The next step, we're using the JSON tool. This is why you guys deserve the money. This is the reason you deserve to make the money, because you're understanding this stuff, guys. I'm just saying, this is the honest truth. You guys are the ones learning this. The rest of the world is like doing their own thing, missing out on the most high-tech, state-of-the-art use of AI in business communication. I put it on my mama, and I love my mama. Shout out, mama. Here's the custom fields. The only thing I'm not going to do is list all of them. Well, the 10, but that's all you would do. Just add all 10 that you have right here, or however many this is, and it'll save. It'll do it every single time. And again, the reason that this is triggering, you can put it in the comments. Why does this trigger? How does this happen? Because we've confirmed the information. That was the trick. The trick is in the function. The fun is in the function. Info is confirmed. Click on edit. Allow the user to confirm the info. This is the whole trick. So they could take as much time as they need to getting those questions done. Like they're not going to play games, but like if they needed clarification, for example, here's why this is important, guys. The reason that we're using an agent, here's your takeaway, the end of the night takeaway. Ready? And this is where agents come in. This is why 2023, Danny Monzone and I were talking about no flow bots, low flow, no flow bots, that video from Jacksonville. Okay, you got the main agent here, your helpful assistant. Here's your job. Collect this info at all costs. Here's your examples to follow. Right? That's perfect little agent. That was a 1 or 2 shot prompt based on Daniel's screenshot from Discord, right? Then the JSON bot. Here, you're the JSON bot. You are a JSON formatting assistant. Your task is to take the user's response, blah, 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 blah. So here's the information. It's literally like saying what to do, which I love. Okay. And then variable names. I even had that in the prompt. That shouldn't even be in the prompt, but whatever. And then it gives the example. So here's the information that's provided, has been confirmed. Here's the summary. And the bot is asking, confirm everything, user confirmation. Yes, everything's perfect. And so boom, the bot can now reference from the instructions to the examples to really understand what we want it to do. And in this case, it is to to output this JSON just like this. And the reason we want this information, again, we want this JSON because it's giving us the format here that the bot is going to understand. So this is the text that your JSON data collection tool understands to match with your cuffs. So where you would never want to have a function that you're trying to collect 100 data points from, or you're trying to do a quiz or a questionnaire, you got 50 questions or even 10 really difficult questions. A function is not going to be your friend. And instead, a function is going to be much better and easier to run and more powerful when it's like contact information. Get the name, email, phone number, income, desired income, hopes and dreams, trigger the function. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's more difficult, or if you're not having the success with the function for whatever reason, this is the surefire way. You're forcing the function action at this point because you're forcing this formatted JSON. You've given the examples. It knows how to present it every time. You're only going to get hit once all the information has been confirmed. So the information is confirmed. Boom, your function to run this flow to get the text in this format is now activated. And now all the custom fields that you need to save that information to go into your CRM, to print out, to have other automations run from CBB or other systems. Now you've got all that information right into your custom fields, like Rick Ross would, the boss would. Can I get an amen? AI is too much fun. Make it easier to copy. Well, copying is not the issue. Copying is easy. The issue, I think, comes down to like if you get 100 custom fields, that's not fun to make. It's not fun to make 100 custom fields, in my opinion. Boom. What is going on, man? What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, homie. Glad you're here. Yeah, I missed it, but you helped me find it. That's what friends and family are for. And thank you for calling and telling me. I think that's all we've got for tonight. I love my little family. I'm gonna take them. We're gonna see Wendy this week. She's gonna meet little baby. Thank you for hanging out, man. John Peasy, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. The king of AI out in Cali, man. I'm seeing you, dude. All right, guys. I think that's all I've got. If you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think that was a pretty good one for today. The first, I didn't tell the story. At least the first part wasn't very long. What is this? What is Asta saying? This one's going to help so many people. Yeah, hopefully we can lock down some of that earlier piece, because it was I did try to make that shorter at least. I hope you guys I really hope that really clarified the appointment stuff, and it is a powerful thing. It's something that you can customize in your own way, but I hope that this will alleviate any issues related to the bot not giving you the best appointment information to make the appointment, or saying, yeah, I want to make the appointment at this time, and it just totally not understand. This is your way. This is to make that function to check the availability. You'll never, ever have a problem. And then when you've got, again, a big old list of data you want to collect, yes, it's fun to be Scott Storch. I kind of have that ad lib on here, so it's not my crazy redneck accent saying it. Just hit the button. Whenever you just had a bunch of data, functions are fun, but not for a bunch of data. You want to be a gangster, and you want to use the JSON tool, and you could extract 1,000 different things. Yes, that's what you want to do. All right, guys, I think that's all I got. I'm going to leave you with the song that I made. The people that were in Discord, shout out to all of you guys that I saw and your name get dropped in the video. You guys are going to be famous. 19 million people watching you, and they're going to be bumping this now. All right, guys, I think that's all I've got. I'll see you next time.
Me nation, we just living like kings. We're kings and queens, we be doing our things. CBB nation, we just living like kings. We're kings and queens, we be doing our things. Denise and Craig Mack, they be holding it down. Daniel goes out the crown in this here town. Asta from Fiji, she's bringing the heat. And dropping claims moves, can't accept defeat. Big Nasty got that vibe, we all feeling the bass. Kim Possible, she running this whole damn place. Wendy with the vision, Robert making things fly. Right centuries hustle, Jose touching the sky. CBB nation, we just live in a dream. With kings and queens, we rise, this a seamless team. Denise keeps the real, always ready to shine. Craig Mack brings the heat, never falling behind. Daniel Gold's got the game, running the show. Asta from Fiji, always making it glow. Anthropic claims the mastermind, I did so fly. Make nasty with the hits, we can reach for the sky. Kim Possible's the boss, holding down the fort. Wendy's got the vision, never falling short.